In this third lecture from Chapter B, I'll be talking about meter signatures, still dealing with simple meters. At the start of a piece of music, we show the meter using a meter signature or a time signature. Those two phrases mean the same thing. So far, the songs I've talked about have been in simple meters. In the next lecture, I will teach you about compound meters. Example B.4 from your textbook shows the most common simple meters. And here's that example. The first column shows the meter signature or time signature. The second column shows the beat value, and it shows 2 or 3 or 4 beats per measure. The third column shows another complete measure, but instead of being made up of 2 or 3 or 4 beats, it's made up of 4 or 6 or 8 divisions of the beat. Now, the most common thing is for the quarter note to be the beat. There are 3 different simple duple meters that are shown here. 2-2, which can also be shown as a C with a line through it, 2-4, and 2-8. It would be unusual to have a measure of 2-1 with 2 whole notes per measure, or 2-16, but those are in fact possible. But we're probably most used to seeing 2-4. Whichever note value is the beat, whether it's the half note or the quarter note, there will be 2 beats per measure, and there will be 4 divisions per measure if we are in duple meter. So these are the simple duple meters. Then in a similar way, we can have a triple meter with 3 beats per measure, or we can have a quadruple meter with 4 beats per measure. And we can have a different note value representing the beat. Here are 5 bullet points that give you some information that you can glean from the simple meter signature. For all of these meter signatures, the top number of the time signature tells you the number of beats per bar. So it's a 2, a 3, or a 4. The lower number of the time signature tells you the beat value. Because the lower number is a 2, a 4, or an 8, that indicates a half note, a quarter note, or an eighth note. Those are simple, non-dotted durations. We can read a meter signature such as 3-4 this way. There are 3, that's the top number, quarter notes, that's the bottom number, in each measure. And actually that statement would be true for any meter signature, including compound meters, but it is true for simple meters. When you focus on the second column, you're seeing either 2 or 3 or 4 beats per measure. But then in the next column, you see faster note values. Where there are faster note values in a simple meter, they divide the beat into 2 divisions. So we can see that for the duple meters, we have 4 divisions per measure. For the triple meters, we have 6 divisions per measure. And for the quadruple meters, we have 8 divisions per measure. Again, we're used to seeing the quarter note as the beat, but as the table above shows, it's also not unusual to have an eighth note or a half note as the beat. Listen to the first phrase of America the Beautiful. Now, while the first line may be the most intuitive way of writing this music out, the second and the third line are equally correct as interpretations of this music. And in fact, all 3 lines give us exactly the same information. Each of these 3 different metrical transcriptions is equivalent to each of the others, and it is equally correct. One of your later assignments is going to be to take a melody which is written in 1 meter signature and then transcribe it so that you're showing a different note value as the beat, and you're either halving or doubling the note values. These are the things that should stay consistent in the different transcriptions. In all three versions of America the Beautiful above, the music is in quadruple meter with 4 beats per measure. The song starts on a 1-beat pickup note and it ends with a note that's 3 beats long in measure 4. In measure 1, the first note is 1.5 beats long. So it's 1.5 eighth notes, or 1.5 half notes, or 1.5 quarter notes. And then the second note is 1/2 beat long, half of a quarter note, or half of a half note. In the third measure, there are 4 equal notes which represent 1 beat. In all of these measures, where we have the words amber waves of, we're counting out 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are some simple meters to be aware of, and next I'll talk to you about compound meters.